get to a level of success, when you getting 30, 40, 50,000 a show, you platinum, you running across the world. There's 3 different doors, right? There's 3 different ways to walk. There's to the left, there's to the right, and then there's straight. To the right, I'm not sure if that's the homo shit right there. And then there's to the left, I'm not sure if there's some sacrifice shit going on right there.
Before the artist even reaches the doors, first they have to be initiated. That's into the devil's religion, which includes witchcraft, the occult, Freemasonry, black magic. They are taught the mystery teachings of how to cast spells, the Masonic hand gestures, the symbols, and everything about black magic. They are taught the Masonic belief that Lucifer is God, so that the initiation strips them of God and all of his protection. This is so that they are reborn in sin, and this initiation process is to prime them for possession. This is done so when they enter one of the doors, they can fully become demon-possessed.
I said, do they still take the master to the temple room? Dave said, yeah. I said, do they still have the coven conjure demons into the master? He said, of course. I said, now, I got to know something. What's the main reason for rock music? He said, come on, Lance, you know what the reason is. I said, please, David, I don't want to guess. Tell me what the main reason is. He says, the same as when you were in, so that we can play spells on people that we couldn't cast spells upon. I'll explain what that means in a minute. I said, okay, one last thing. I've been hearing that you must be an initiated witch now to get a record contract. He said, that's right. He says, many of us that weren't total witches have to be witches now in order to produce music. I said, thank you.
Each one of the doors has several gatekeepers assigned to it. The artists who already went through the rituals and the doors back in the days and survived it, they were selected by the labels to bring more souls. These gatekeepers are slaves themselves, but with more power and privilege. They went through enough rituals and brought enough souls and did enough sacrifice that they was promoted and upgraded from slave to slave bringer or catcher. Depending on the door you choose, you have to go through any one of the gatekeepers. They will split ownership of the artist with the label, and they are responsible for telling them what agendas and to being the handler of the artist.
When a pimp meets a girl, he puts her into a coat, and some bathing suit, and some pumps, makes her look good. When a label meets an artist, they give them a budget. They choose them, and they say, I think you can make me money. I choose a bitch. I say, I think you can make me some money. You seem to want to. The average artist walks into a record label who is a pimp and says, please pimp me. Put me out there. I need to be out. What's the first thing an artist says when they come? Put me out there. So you say you want to go on the track. So what I do is I'll give you money. I'll make you look good. Now you get out there and you sell me some records. You sell me some pussy. See, there's a parallel. Now, they say you shake yourself, break yourself when you see a pimp. So when the bitch is on the street and she see her pimp roll up, she walk a little harder, move her ass a little harder, and she breaks herself. But when you an artist and the label management walks in and you on the stage, you dancing harder. You trying to get it off. You trying to show your pimp you a good hoe.
You know.
Like Mariah Carey just had this big $20 million. That's like a huge deal, right?
So you feeling that? If I sell 1 million copies, I'm going to have $10 million, right? Roughly $10 million.
Right.
If I sell 2 million copies, I got $20 million.
Right.
If I just sell 3 million copies, I got $30 million. Now who has the biggest record deal?
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. Okay.
Right? So Mariah kind of got screwed.
NBA Youngboy, he's the biggest YouTuber, you know, for his
influencer, wow.
Influence as far as music. But think about the deals that this generation is doing.
Yeah.
So he did a deal. I looked at it. If I would have been on his team, he did a deal for $2 million for 5 records. So think about that. You got the money up front, but imagine what they get.
Yeah.
So we have to teach that to the next generation. Look at the bigger picture. Don't just look at the now.
Door number 1. This door leads to demonic possession through the perversion of God, what we call the Zesty agenda. The door was created based on the occultic teachings of Aleister Crowley's ritual sex magic. The ritual leads to the corruption of the artist's soul. They in turn will be responsible for promoting this agenda using their image and influence, thus leading their fans away from God and towards demonic possession. the cycle of corrupting souls, and once they go through this door, they will fully become demonically possessed.
I got Mr. Lee.
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my
Chance with you. I
bag
like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at,
I like
Mr.
when
Lee?
you
Oh, it's right here,
scrambling
it's
and
right
scraping
here.
for shit.
No, I got
I
notes
like
and
that.
shit. You know, I've been practicing. I got
Yeah.
Mr. Lee.
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you
Chance
put my
with you. I
bag
like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at,
I like
Mr.
when
Lee?
you
Oh,
when
it's
you
right here, it's
scrambling
right
and
here.
scraping
Oh,
when you
it's right here,
scrambling
it's
and
right
scraping for
here.
shit.
No. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go over that one.
Make a
That
wish.
one.
Just blow it out. It's your birthday every day.
Every day's your birthday on Drink Champs. Goddammit, I'm in.
Where I look
Did you
back
miss
on
me?
where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real, because I'm saying it seems like a thing.
I
with
miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man. I
Man,
miss
but I'm
partying
talking about
with
for your
him.
birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
Yeah, we partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying?
You deserve it, Daddy. To be at your highest peak and have it snatched away from you because you don't want to kiss ass. And man, we all black people, man. Black people continue to step on each other and hold each other down. And that shit for people mental. I'm the nigga that'll run in there and blow your shit loose, bro. I don't give a fuck. Do you really want to be in a situation where you make a man that mad, dog?
That's funny. I asked Fat Joe the question. He
that's
agreed
funny.
with me.
That's
a lot of rappers I asked, did they think about it for a second? They're like, pretty sure I've done a song with a gay rapper.
Yeah, man, I'm in the industry. I've been hearing stories since 1990-something. I don't talk about that shit. My personal opinion is, if you talk about it too much, something bad gonna happen to you. Cause it's something in the air, man. It's like I'm a conspiracy theorist, so.
Well, you know, Fat Joe said that there's a gay mafia.
I was just gonna say it, but I didn't want to say it because I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Before everybody starts screaming and saying, oh, like I told y'all earlier, you motherfuckers entered the rapture. And if ain't nobody flying up to heaven right now, obviously all y'all motherfuckers going to hell. Right with me. So
the second door is the human sacrifice. They must sacrifice the loved one to obtain power, money, and influence. This is a direct violation of God and His creation. God gives life, and they take it in the sacrifice. They sacrifice the loved one. In return, the artist will become demon-possessed. They trade life for earthly riches. Gatekeepers sometimes will even sacrifice their artists, but typically this is done out of jealousy or for ritual purposes. In turn, they will promote violence, murder, gangs, drugs, money. Many of the rappers are murdered themselves. The power of life and death is in the tongue.
In white-owned companies, white-owned stations with white-owned sponsors that play the role of hypersexualized, hypercriminalized male. I asked these advertisers, I say, I've got hundreds of songs a day that celebrate killing animals. Will you put them on your station? They said, no. I got hundreds of songs a day that talk about assaulting women and abusing kids. Would you put them on your station? They said, no. I said, I got hundreds of songs a day that talk about murdering blacks. Would you put them on your stations? They said, well, that depends. Depends on what? Who it's done by and who it's branded for. Because if we can get black folks to sing about it and we can brand it for our youngest black audiences, I think there's money to be made. I think there's American appetites to see these people that way. I said, how can you say that? They said, well, look, it's what these artists know. It's what they, black people, create. It's, matter of fact, our surveys say it's what they want to hear, which speaks of a sickness. How do we live in a society where somebody says, you know what, I'm inspired to write a song that celebrates murdering another person. And then a person says, I'd like to put that on my station. Another person said, I'd like to pay for it. And then there's people out here in the audience that go, I'd love to hear.
Every single mainstream artist are initiated into occult and witchcraft practices, becoming practitioners. This is to corrupt their soul, and then when they go through the doors, they become possessed. They had to go through the doors to enter the industry. Each time they want to move up, they must choose a door once again. It is an endless cycle. Once they run out of people to sacrifice, and then if they refuse the Zesty route, they will apply to become gatekeepers for sacrifice. Some run out of sacrifices and have no choice but to go through the other door. They are all fully demon-possessed after entering the doors. The music is channeled through demonic rituals using muses and automatic writings. Spells and curses are weaved into the lyrics, backmasking ritualistic phrases and chants. This is why it affects the youth so much and it is so powerful. They don't even allow their own children to listen to it. So take that as a sign to protect you and your kids.
Before everybody starts screaming and saying, oh, like I told y'all earlier, you motherfuckers entered the rapture. And if ain't nobody flying up to heaven right now, obviously all y'all motherfuckers going to hell. Right with me.